Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. It's been months. Yeah, my bad, guys. I forgot my YouTube password. Yeah. So I've already tried to record this video, and yeah, my microphone wasn't. The sound wasn't working. So we're gonna try this again. So. Rocket League Simulator RLCS Paris Major for 2026. This is coming up next weekend. Actually, a week from when you'll see this video. So I'm going to do predictions. We're going to get straight into it. So, if you guys don't know, at the Boston Major, they did a ground robin type groups where it's the top two from each group, top two seed from each group move on to the playoffs. What's different about this Paris Major is that top three move on to the playoffs. So we're going to take a look at the groups. I'll let you guys know who I think is the strongest group, who I think is the weakest group in terms of like competition, I guess. Yeah, let's get into it. So, Group A is Vitality, KC, Wildcard, and Foot. Group B is NRG, Man City, MIBR, and Five Fears. Group C is Twisted Minds, Ninjas in Pajamas, Shopify Rebellion, and TSM. Group D is Gentlemates, Space Station, RAE Sports, and Furia. So, who I think is the strongest group? Dude, Group C is insane. I don't know. I think Group C and Group A are death groups. Group C is definitely a... Group D could be a death group too. One of the... I think that's top 2 in MENA. Space Station is like a top 4 team. No, top 2 maybe. Top 3 in NA. Gentlemates is like arguably the top 1, but top 2 right now in standings, I believe. Yeah. So I'd say Group C is nasty too. Twisted Minds, Ninjas in Pajamas, Shopify Rebellion. Okay. So, Vitality, KC, Wildcard, and Foot Esports. I really want to believe in Wildcard here. I think that if they win a series, then they are going to the World Championship. If they lose out and go 0-3 here, I believe that they have to play a tiebreaker versus Power. Because them and Power are the same points, I believe. I could be wrong. Okay, so just looking at this, it's best of 5s. I'm gonna give Foot over Wildcard here. Definitely. I'm gonna do Vitality as the number 1 seed because KC, especially during this split, I don't know what's going on with them, but they've looked shaky in Swiss and even in playoffs, like losing to Ninjas in Pajamas. I mean, Ninjas in Pajamas is a good team, but KC should win that pretty much every time, 9 times out of 10, but they've been going back and forth with Nip. Vitality has been the most consistent team this split. Consistent top 4s and grand finals. They were in the grand finals at the Boston Major against the Gentlemates. Very consistent. So I see them going 3-0, maybe dropping a series to KC, but yeah, I think this is pretty. I'm sorry, wild card. You might get an upset here, but I just don't see you making it out of that group. Group B. This is the easiest group. Group B is the easiest group. Yes, yes. NRG is getting a Cinderella run again, which is fine by me. I'm a big NRG fan. Beast Mode, Atomic, and Daniel. Yeah. NRG are going to easily get a 3-0 here. Maybe the only team giving them troubles is Man City. 5 Fears last time really took a dump, and they're not going to make it out. MIBR will make it out. Probably beating 5 Fears, maybe Man City, but Man City have been kind of on an upward slope. But I'll see Man City probably dropping to NRG, but beating the lower teams to get a top 2 seed out of that group. Group C, this is a tough group to predict, if I'm being honest. Shopify Rebellion could easily beat. They beat Ninjas in Pajamas at Boston Major. They beat them in a Game 7 series, I believe. So, these two are interchangeable for me. TSM, I don't think you're making out of this group. I'm sorry. Twisted Minds, I could see I'm gonna put them a little bit lower because I feel like I haven't seen them in international competition. They didn't even make it to playoffs at the Boston Major. Until they do that, they're going a little bit down, but they're still a high caliber team. So we'll see with that. But Ninjas in Pajamas and Shopify Rebellion could be interchangeable here. Yeah, I'm happy with that pick. If you don't know, Twisted Minds is TRK, Nobu, and Monkey Moon. Why Falcons would trade TRK for Drawley is still a mystery to me. That bag must have been massive. Because, bro. It's TRK, man. So, Twisted Minds are going to make it out this time. I'm confident in them to make it to the playoffs. Gentle Mates, Space Station, RA Esports, and Furia. RA Esports is like Abdullah and them. Furia's like Swift, Lost, and Yan. I'm happy keeping this like this. I do have a feeling Space Station is going to struggle with Gentlemates, just their offensive power. I think Gentlemates will have a 3-0 out of this group. R8 could go down. It's tough to say. I'm going to keep R8 here because they have gone toe-to-toe with like Twisted Minds and Falcons. I'm gonna keep that, I'd say. So, what does that mean for the playoffs? Interesting. All right, let's do lower bracket, lower rounds first. Then we'll do upper. Man City versus R8. I could see this going to a Game 7. I am going to go with Man City just because they've kind of had more experience and they've beat some high-level teams. They definitely can do it, I think. Twisted Minds, Foot Esports. I'm not convinced with Foot. This will be a crowd, and this will be hype because Justin will be on LAN again. I'm going to go with Twisted Minds here. Yeah. Could be close. Yeah, could be close, but no. KC versus Shopify Rebellion. That could be a good game. KC has been in the lower bracket a while. This split, they have not looked as dominant as they have been in the past split. But I'm gonna give it to KC. Space Station versus MIBR. I think Space Station will win that pretty fairly. Alright, let's go to lower bracket round 2. Man City versus Twisted Minds. Tough series. I'm going to go Twisted Minds again, I feel. KC versus Space Station Gaming. I'm going to go KC just based off experience. And KC just on Fridays and Saturdays are just, they're like NRG. They show up when it matters. Okay. Vitality Gentlemates. This is a rematch, I believe. Tough. Do I have Gentlemates? I think they'll show. I think NAS will show up big. NRG versus NIP. NIP are a very aggressive team, which is good for NRG. I'd say NRG are good in that matchup. That's going to be a close series, probably Game 7. Yeah. Vitality versus Twisted Minds. Let's do a little Twisted Minds in the semis. That might be cool to see. NIP versus KC. I think KC will get their get back against NIP. Alright. Now we're on to the semifinals. Gentlemates versus KC. Gentlemates have had their number. I'm not going to lie. And I think they'll continue to have their number. NRG versus Twisted Minds. NRG on a playoff Saturday. No, this would be Sunday. Yeah, NRG. I mean, are we surprised? I'm not. NRG versus Gentlemates. I mean, that's tough. I'm gonna go with Gentlemates. They're gonna do a two-time P, where they get Boston Major and Paris Major. So that's my prediction. Let me know down below if you guys think that this is a good prediction. I'd say there could be a few upsets in here, although really not many. I'm not really going for upsets. I guess this would be kind of an upset, but R8 I don't know how R8 are in, like, you know, international competition. Like, I know how most of these teams relatively are, based off like the Boston Major. So yeah, that's my prediction. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to hit the like button. Let me know who you think is going to win the Paris Major. Will it be NRG? What are we thinking? All right. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.